In MMA, it's said that a fighter who has a strong will to win and refuses to accept defeat at any cost has heart. This unbreakable resolve creates gritty fighters almost impossible to put away. We're talking Frankie Edgar, Big Nog, Diego Sanchez, all fan favorites because they embody the human ability to persevere. Entire movies are made about this. Only these guys do it for real. And no one's ever quite done it like Nick Diaz, a fighter known for getting dropped only to get back up, slap you in the face, and call you a bitch. But at UFC 266, fans were quick to point out that he seemingly just quit. So what happened? Although a lot was made of his physique and he did seem a bit slower and heavier, I think this is normal for an aging fighter coming off of a long layoff. He showed good cardio, he was as tough as ever, and his output was insane. The combination punching definitely brought back shades of the old Diaz. No, I think the real difference was psychological. And the hint is in the segment we saw in his interview with Brett Okamoto.
Oh, how do you feel against Robbie Lawler? How do you feel? I feel like I'm going to get the out of me. And even when I win, I get beat up worse. So
why would Nick say he gets beat up worse when he wins? Well, think about it, guys. How do the Diaz brothers fight? They're not exactly elusive. They're there to be hit, but they don't go away. They just keep coming and overwhelm their opponents with their cardio and toughness. And Nick knows this. He knows he has to take punishment to win the fight. It's probably one of the main reasons he left the sport to begin with.
I'm always asking myself a few days before these fights, like, what the hell am I doing?
His love-hate relationship with MMA is also well documented. He resents the sport because it takes so much every time he steps into the cage. Even setting his younger brother on the same path and having to see him take punishment in fights is something that clearly weighs heavy on his mind.
it was hard, man. I watched him get sewed up, and I was just, it was timing. I was stressed out about a lot of other things, and then I watched that, and I was like, wow. I'm a baby brother, It's hard to watch him fight.
Nick said when he was young, it was easier to get amped up before fights, but over time, the reality of the difficulties of a lifelong MMA career have begun to set in.
I feel a lot different now than I used to. Some days I feel great. Some days I'm not. Some days I'm not all with it.
Diaz is no longer a young kid from Stockton looking to make a name for himself just to earn a living. Now he's a legend making one final sprint into the setting sun of his career. Though a part of Nick doesn't want to fight, he said so himself. It's what he identifies with.
There's a lot, there's things I could do, but that's not going to work out, I might as well just go and take my punches.
Oftentimes we see this with fighters. It becomes difficult for them to transition out of a life of fighting. BJ Penn comes to mind, Mayhem Miller, and most recently Stephan Bonner, who's been freaking out about his painkillers on Instagram. It can get sad. Another issue may have been motivation and a general frustration with the Robbie Lawler fight, which to him was just another bad hand dealt by the sport.
Because I already beat Lawler. This doesn't make sense for me to go in there and fight Robbie Lawler again. I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't know why I'm doing this. This should not happen. Whoever set this up is an idiot. I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't know why this happened. I should be fighting Kamaru Usman, and that's it.
Now, if we're going by rankings, considering the time outside of the octagon and the fact that they weren't even fighting at welterweight, this fight with Usman makes no sense. But to Diaz, none of that stuff matters. What matters is the fact that he gave his life to this sport, that he dedicated his youth to it, that he shed blood, sweat, and tears in the octagon. To him, he deserves it. If not him, then who? Maybe Robbie Lawler, another legend, another guy who's paid his dues.
And if I don't win, I'd like to see Robbie get the fight,
And maybe the prospect of a title would make it all worth it. But at UFC 266, it all seemed to catch up to him. The time off, the part of him that really doesn't want to be in the cage, and the cognitive dissonance of it all as he looked up at the referee and almost reluctantly said no more. It seemed like Diaz took solace in giving the fans a good fight, like he always has. I was glad to see the reception of gratitude and respect which the MMA community gave him. Diaz did ask for a quick turnaround if he lost this fight, but somehow I doubt we'll see that. Either way, I wish Nick Diaz the best inside and outside the cage, as he's truly a legend in the sport and one of my all-time favorite fighters. Well, that's all I got for you guys today, so if you made it to the end of the video, thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, Checkmate MMA signing out. Peace.